Join me as I dive into the mind of a narcissist and challenge myself to uncover the biggest mistakes they make that can actually set you free. Narcissism is a term we've all heard before, but when it comes to personal relationships, it can be a recipe for disaster. We've all been there, stuck in a toxic dynamic, wondering what we did wrong and how we can break free. But what if I told you that the key to unlocking that freedom lies not in your actions, but in the mistakes made by the narcissists themselves? Narcissists thrive on control and manipulation, and if you're embroiled in a relationship with one, you know how suffocating it can feel. They'll often use guilt trips, gaslighting, and projection to keep you in line, and it's exhausting. But here's the thing, they can't help themselves. It's a pattern of behavior that's deeply ingrained, and it's precisely this pattern that can ultimately lead to their downfall. They'll create a sense of chaos, making you doubt your own sanity. Then swoop in as the savior, pretending to be the only one who truly understands you. But it's all a ruse, a clever tactic designed to keep you hooked and dependent on them. And once you start to see through the facade, that's when the real trouble begins. They'll stop at nothing to maintain their grip on you, even if it means stepping on your boundaries and disrespecting your feelings. But the more you conform to their demands, the more of yourself you'll lose. It's a vicious cycle, one that can only be broken when you recognize the narcissist's patterns for what they are, a desperate attempt to distract from their own deep-seated insecurities. When a narcissist realizes they're losing control, they'll often resort to manipulation. But this is precisely where their downfall begins. They'll try to make you feel guilty for setting boundaries, for saying no, for not conforming to their every whim. But it's in these moments that you must stand firm, because the moment you do, you'll realize that their actions are not about you at all, they're about them. Their lack of empathy is staggering, and it's precisely this lack that will ultimately be their downfall. They'll use your emotions against you, pretending to care when in reality, they're only using you to fuel their own ego. But when you start to see through the charade, that's when you'll start to regain control. The moment you recognize the narcissist's tactics for what they are, a desperate attempt to distract from their own insecurities, that's when you'll start to feel empowered. You'll start to see that their behavior is not about you, but about them, and that's when you'll be able to set those healthy boundaries and reclaim your sense of self. It's a liberating feeling, knowing that you're no longer held captive by someone else's whims. You'll start to see that the narcissist's behavior is not only toxic, but also a sign of their own weakness. And it's in this realization that you'll find the strength to stand up for yourself and walk away from the toxicity for good. In today's video, we uncovered the biggest mistakes narcissists make and how those mistakes can ultimately set you free. Remember, recognizing narcissistic behavior is key to reclaiming your sense of self and setting healthy boundaries. Don't let someone else define your worth. You are in control. If you've got a story to share about your experiences with narcissists, drop it in the comments below. And if you're new here, consider subscribing for more insights on relationships, personal growth, and empowerment. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.